Hey friends, Joe the Farmer here. In today's video, we're going to have a lot of fun just kind of walking around the property looking at things that we've done to get ready for the season. We have a couple last minute things we have to do and also some things we did off camera that I want to show you all. And I also had two really cool hunts. And now, mind you, I could bore you with like 4 hours of unsuccessful hunts, but two of the most recent hunts, which I'll show you, one was incredibly unique and the second one was special because it was my first ever velvet buck in Kentucky. So I'll show you some of that footage here, kind of, put it in and out, and this may be a little bit more of an erratic video, but the story's the same. We're getting ready for deer season here on the farm. The weather's starting to cool down. It's a beautiful day. We're gonna till up a food plot. We're gonna work on some shooting lanes and some of these ladder stands that we have, really just kind of get stuff pulled together and get stuff ready. Appreciate you all coming along with us. If you like this kind of content, give us a like and subscribe. We'd love to have you come along in the future. A lot of different things we've done this year. A lot of different stuff. It may work, it may not, but hey, I've already filled a tag and it's September. So that feels really, really weird for me, but I've been blessed 2 years in a row. Let's get to work. I'm gonna show you around, do some stuff. And in another video coming up soon, I'm gonna introduce you to a very new piece of equipment here on the farm that is very unique and very cool. So let's get to work. So we are getting an incredibly late start on this one plot we call the Narnia Plot. And a lot of it has to do with the fact we had a ton of rain. We had a lot of really good weather when it comes to the spring, or not really spring, the early fall. And now that we're getting like early to mid-September, we still, like today's the first day we have rain in the forecast. So I could have put seed out here and tilled this a while ago, but the concern was we wouldn't have had rain for 2 weeks and we haven't. So the early August planting we did with the Dixie greens and radish and some of the other plants that we did, mowing the clover and everything, fertilizing that, really paid off because this is extremely late. It should work, it'll be fine. But again, it's one of those things where you do have to you got to play the weather. And we're playing the weather here, and I don't think we'll get burned. This plot grew up way more than I would have wanted it to grow up in such a short period of time. Okay, so there's a little bit of wind right now, and I'm reenacting. I've already taken the deer to the processor, took the girls out for a nice lunch because they rode with me. Just a wild morning. Good grief, how strange. But I just walked from the house. I saw them through the bedroom window. I'll show you kind of what that looks like from where I was sitting. Had a nice crackling fire in front of me. Had my computer, doing some work. And that deer I've been trying to find and I've hunted him hard. He's really the only deer I wanted to get. And, I'm sitting there inside the house. Have never seen the deer before in person, ever. That's the first time I've ever seen him with my own eyes. I've seen him on camera a few times, so I knew he was out here somewhere. But he's kind of like, I don't know, he's the bruiser of the area, so he's the one I really was targeting. But when I saw him, I just snuck around the house along this fence line. So I came out and I'm sitting in the house just working and I look out the window and I see Sweeper, the one that we've been trying to get, the one deer I've been trying to hunt. And he came to the top of this hill, which I'll show you in a second. And I took like a 250-yard shot. That's a long shot, but he was perfectly broadside, and he went over that hill. I don't know if I'm gonna get him or not. So let me show you where he is. But he just kind of popped out, was staring in that field. At this point, I couldn't get any further without hopping the fence. To where he was 250 yards. I did have a rangefinder with me, because I don't want to take a shot on something that's just way too far out. Saw him run over that field after I shot, or just kind of kick and go over that hump. I actually drove around to the top point of that 20-acre field, and I could see down in there from up there, which is where I finally confirmed it. At first, I didn't see anything. I was like, oh gosh, but then I just saw him laying there, and I was like, oh, I got him. Oh my gosh, he's right there. Oh man, he's awesome. I don't know how much of this I can show because, YouTube. But, man, beautiful deer. So he's kind of going downhill a little bit. It's like a heart shot. Two, three, go. Hey, son of a... Look at him all warm in there. It's a good boy. That's a good boy. Heck yeah,
That's
dude.
a good deer. Congratulations.
Thanks, man. I don't feel like I went hunting. I didn't.
I was working.
All right, making progress. It looks pretty good. I think this will be perfectly fine. We've got about another 3 or 4 passes to make with this implement, which is way too small for this tractor. It's only 6 feet wide. I could probably go with an 8-foot tiller. Let's see if I can't get this thing tilled up, and then we'll get out there, start putting some seed out. So the best way to do this is you just get a bag spreader, very simple, goes over your shoulder. And what we're trying is something called Hot Chick, which is by Domain. You can see the seed through the container, which is great. We're gonna pour the Hot Chick in there. This is chicory and clover. This is a lot of perennial stuff in here. So we're gonna mix this with something that's gonna be a little bit more of an annual. So this is gonna have, you know, more of your forage brassicas, rutabaga, rapeseed, turnips, that kind of stuff. So this is gonna be mixed in with the clover. We don't wanna overseed anything that has brassicas or turnips in it. It's okay to overseed something that has clover in it. Mix this up real good. This is supposed to be about an acre's worth of seed. I'm gonna go a little bit heavier on something that's gonna have the chicory and the clover. And we are gonna see how this comes up. Looks like pepper, white pepper, but these tiny little seeds, we wanna be sure we don't bury them too much. The rain will set them though. So a lot of you may know this, but when you're doing this, you should really just kind of see really faint amount of raining seeds, I guess is the way I'm trying to put it, coming out of the bag. And what I'll do is I'll do one swath, and then this is 1 acre exactly. And then I want to kind of reevaluate, am I going too heavy, am I going too light? You know, I said something nice about this bag, but I've already broken off the little adjuster thing, but that's probably because I do a lot of clover and a lot of brassicas with this bag, which are tiny, tiny seeds. There's not really setting for that. So come up a little bit. Spread those around. All right, so in one of our videos recently, we did we talked about the no-till food plot kind of thing up here, sprayed it 3 times. This is a spot, insanely rocky. Can't do anything really here, but the Dixie greens and radish, a lot of radish coming up. This is gonna be great. Already have a ton of deer in here. And then over here, kind of work our way up to this clover. Here's some weeds in here. That's okay. As I've said before, deer eat weeds. A lot of grasses in here, but I think we mow it one more time and we're good. Okay, so one other thing we've really been focusing on is getting some ladder stands up. These were provided to us by Hawk. Thank you, Hawk, for sending these to us. It was very nice of you. They saw that we needed some ladder stand action here on the farm. We were able to put some of these up. It was probably about 2 months ago. But this tree is what we selected. We got trails going everywhere, both sides. But this Hawk Big Denali is turning out to be, it's actually pretty easy to put together, but it's gonna be really top heavy. So having 3 guys to put this thing up, this is not a one-man job. It's not recommended. So again, the whole thought behind this, like, listen, we're not professionals, but the thought behind doing all of this is that we have a brand new stand here, and this is enticing animals to come out here. Young deer who will grow up here in the property, who are gonna understand this property. They're gonna be here and not consider this a threat. And the truth is, when it comes here to hunting on our property, we hardly ever shoot stuff. A lot of times we just watch things, and you know, that'll just be a place where we could watch them and observe them and do all those things. So anyway,
Watch this dude.
You guys are working. I'm working the camera, but really haven't had a chance to cut shooting lanes. So that's a pretty high stand, really, really comfortable stand. It's a Hawk Big Denali. It's a 2-man, it'll hold a lot of weight. We're big boys out here, so, you know, not really looking for the junior size. But, you know, right here you can see we got tow ropes put on here. The stand is pretty secure. Really, really nice setup. And this shooting lane we're working on today, we're gonna work on this here in a little bit. But I mean, there's all kinds of deer traffic that comes through here, and you know, the question always comes down to when you're on your own property is, what have I been missing? Not, you know, what have I seen? you know they're moving around. It's just where are they? So one other thing that we did is we have these muddy blinds out here, and we have an extra one. So I set it in this barn for now until we really find a better place to put it next season. And believe it or not, from this hay barn or whatever, this old hay barn, if you ever want to see a doe, or you just want to bring a kid out here to see a deer, 100% you will see a deer sitting in that blind. We may see one come over the hill anytime. They'll come over the hill here, which is why, that's going to be such a great little ambush spot. And then they'll also come up the hill here where they're coming through that gate we just came through, coming from the 35-acre piece. So a lot of opportunity there. Could be a cool bow stand, crossbow stand, muzzleloader stand, even a rifle stand. The largest deer I ever saw on the property is walking this ridge right here when I was actually coming back from over here. He's walking this ridge, and there's no shot because I'm shooting uphill, and we're responsible. We're not doing that kind of nonsense. But huge deer. Would have been really cool to have a shot at him, but wasn't in the cards. So anyway, over here at this farm called Old Man, and I think they're telling me that I'm the old man. Well, I got my first deer ever with a bow. He's laying right down there. And I texted the guys and said I kind of put this as the equivalent of when it's cart paths only on a golf course. You just kind of hit the drive right by the cart path. So, man, what a beautiful deer. There's a really nice one in here. Came out earlier, and he got my blood going a little bit, but then I kind of realized he's younger for Kentucky. In Tennessee, all day long, but I was on the fence, which says do nothing. That's not the deer for you. But he came in actually down here and started walking, and I saw him right here, and milliseconds saw the deer. I'm shooting that deer if I get the opportunity. Came out right there in the bait pile, and the rest is history. So I'm gonna let my bow down. I put 2 arrows in him. The first one, he didn't expire quickly, so I snaked an arrow through this little hole right there, which was pretty impressive to do. I don't know if I could do it again, but that way, he was done. So I'm gonna lower the bow down, and we'll get our hands on him, see what he looks like. Man, it's a beautiful deer. Well, we got a lot of stuff done today, you all. Got some deer chores done, a lot of things ready for the season. Bow season opens in a couple weeks, and once the feed's off the ground, we pull the feeders, they're gone. Once we're confident there's nothing out there, then we can get out there and hunt. So appreciate you guys watching this video, and if you enjoy this kind of stuff, we'd appreciate you give us a like, and come along, subscribe. We have a long season ahead of us, and we're gonna have a lot of fun this year. I can't wait. We've talked about doing like a virtual deer camp, which is like a live thing. Maybe while we're cooking dinner and cooking some venison backstrap, doing some fun stuff. But I don't know, we'll see what we do, and appreciate you guys watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Joe the Farmer, we out.